Hello, Blake here with tip number one, and probably your most important tip when it comes to doing anything creative, and that is do not let your skills or the gear be a limiting factor to you doing something creative. So when you see the scope of this card and you're like, wow, there's no way that I could ever do that, I'm telling you right now that there is a way that you can do this regardless of the gear that you have, as long as you spend the time that you need to with your skills and your gear to make it happen. I say that because I've been doing these cards for 10 years or so, 9 years. 2010 is when my wife and I got married. That was the first time I ever did a Christmas card, when she was pregnant with Michael. I didn't have a whole lot of gear. And I didn't have a whole lot of skills. When it came to my gear, I basically had a budget Olympus camera, I had a beach, and I had some stock images of some Christmas lights. As the years progressed, I got a little bit more creative. I started thinking about things a little bit more, but my skills weren't quite there. I mean, there was one year I did this Christmas card where basically my wife and I and Michael were basically like Christmas ornaments on our tree. And when I look at this card, I knew what my vision was. I had it in my head, but it does not translate very well into the Christmas card. It was cute, but it just wasn't exactly what I wanted. I wanted it to look like we were ornaments hanging from a Christmas tree, and it doesn't look like that at all. Actually, it doesn't look very good at all. My skills weren't there. I didn't have the appropriate gear to do that. I might not even have the appropriate gear now to do something like that, but I tried. And I did not let that be a limiting factor. As the years have progressed, I've gotten a lot better with my skills. And because I've gotten a lot better with my skills, that has translated into a better vision that I've created. But I guarantee you this, if I didn't start by making the stuff that I was making 8, 9 years ago, I wouldn't be where I am today. But as you work towards getting better at Photoshop and getting better translating your creative vision into a digital or two-dimensional piece of paper, essentially, as you practice that, you get better and better, and your vision becomes more of a reality and becomes very easy. Now, as far as gear is concerned, you've seen the studio that I have here. My studio is right back there. I take that couch that you see there, I pull it all the way up to here, and then I put a backdrop in the back. But what am I using? Well, the backdrop that I'm using is basically that stretchy swimsuit liner that you'd have on the inside of a swimsuit. I went to a fabric store and bought 3 yards of that. Why? Well, because I don't use it all the time, and I can ball it up and I can throw it into that closet that you see there and you don't see it, but then when I need it, I can put it up onto those bars that I have to hang the backdrop. I tape it there with either duct tape or blue painter's tape, and then I weigh it down on the front side, which you don't see typically in the videos, with some weights so that it's a nice seamless backdrop. So you don't need to get a seamless backdrop that costs $60 to $80. We're talking a piece of stretchy swimsuit liner that cost me all of, I don't know, $9.50 or something like that after I had this coupon from my local fabric store. Now the lights that I'm using, those are pretty expensive. I think I spent like maybe $600 on the 2 lights, which also came with the bulbs and the stands. So it's not crazy outrageously expensive for a continuous light setup, but are those the best continuous lights in the world? Absolutely not. But I don't let my gear or lack of gear be a limitation to keep me from being creative. I don't have the most elaborate, impressive studio on the planet to do this in. This is my office that you see me recording these videos in. But you can still create greatness even with limited gear. And what that is, that's a sign of true artistry, because artists are creative problem solvers. So please don't let your gear or your skills be any type of limitation to keep you from doing something creative and that you love to do. And that's tip number one. And please don't judge me for some of those older cards that I showed you. My skills just weren't quite there. You just watched a tip from a series I'm doing called the 12 Tips of Christmas. It's about this composited Christmas card that I did for our family. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, how this is going to work is over the course between the 13th and the 24th of December 2018, I'll be populating a new tip for the 12 Tips of Christmas. If you're on F64 Academy, you'll see that this page is being updated as those days progress. If at any point you want to catch up on these, you can either do it right here on F64 Academy on this page that you're watching right now, or if you're on the YouTube channel, type in F64 Academy and search for the playlist 12 Tips. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this. I sincerely appreciate it. Have a Merry Christmas.